Hello here, John Fields and Oscar here again. I just picked up this nice old Bravo 112 a while back actually. I thought I was going to, I started to go clean it up and I was going to put it in my personal collection. And I thought it sure would be nice to make a video to show people how to get the dirt out of this Bumpy Tolex. Because that's something I get asked a lot. And it's really not that hard to do. You just need a couple of special things. Like it's the most important thing is the cleaner, and what I like to use is made by a company called Sprayway. They used to sell this other foaming cleaner called HD22. I couldn't find it anymore, so I cross-referenced the material safety data sheet to this. And this is Sprayway Crazy Clean number 31. They sell it just about anywhere. And you'll want to get a couple of different kind of brushes, like a shoe brush is real good, or maybe just kind of like a stiff nylon brush to get in these corners here. And so anyways, what you got to do is, this stuff's great because it's got a foaming action to it. You don't really want to get a lot of it on the grill cloth, but it doesn't really hurt. So you just kind of do a thin coat of it like that. There's really not very much cleaner involved there at all. Then you get the sides. And what you want to do is just give it a minute or two to sit down into those little cracks and just kind of that like that. You just want to get it everywhere on the Tolex that you can, particularly on the corners, like here and here on the bottom. It's pretty nasty sometimes. So just put the top back on that. Like I said, you don't want to clean the grill cloth with this stuff necessarily, but you can. And if you have the speaker out, you can use the methods that I'm going to show you here to clean the grill cloth as well. But the other most important thing you need is an air compressor. So that's what we're going to do the final part with. So anyways, you let the Crazy Clean sit there for a minute, and then you just kind of gently agitate the dirt, and kind of get down into the corners on the the area between the corners and the Tolex here, into the heads of the screws, kind of like that. And then around the handle is particularly nasty sometimes. You kind of lift that up and get in there. The top of the handle gets a lot of gunk in it. You don't have to scrub real hard, and you don't want to. This foaming cleaner is good because what you want to avoid is getting water in between the seams on the Tolex. Sometimes it's on the top, and water gets down in there and it gets to the cabinets. And sometimes the cabinets are made out of particle wood, and when particle wood takes on water, it's what's called hygroscopic, and it swells under the Tolex. It's really bad. So here we'll use this brush here to kind of get the handle a little bit extra. And this stuff dries a little faster than the stuff that I'm used to. There's the screws there. And we'll kind of, I sprayed way too much down here earlier, so just kind of. You want to make sure you use brushes with nylon bristles. Don't go up in there with metal bristles or anything like that. It'll rip your cover material and your grill cloth pretty bad. Just kind of do that, and then another thing about these corners, this one's a little high, and you can take a rubber mallet and just kind of pop the face of that. It'll bend back in, and what you want is to basically have less than the thickness of a dime right there. That used to be kind of the production guideline. Anyways, I don't happen to have a rubber hammer here, but just another tip, okay? And then in these corners real good, especially right here on top of that. Like I say, you don't have to scrub very hard. The foaming cleaner does most of the work, but you do want to hit everything. I never clean the bottom because I like to leave the bottom stock just to kind of get an idea of what I was starting with in the first place. I mean, if it's got something living on the bottom, obviously, you take that off. But Now, you don't really want to wipe it down with a cloth from that point. You want to take your air compressor and hit it at an angle of incidence that's going to shoot the funk off in that direction somewhere. So basically, you'll kind of go like this and just turn that off for a second so we can hear. But basically, what I did was I just kind of followed the dirt off of it with the air compressor there. And in the spots where I was having a little trouble in the corner here, I just sprayed a little extra while it was still very wet, just right in there. Like I said, you could take the speaker out and use the compressed air to clean the grill cloth to an extent, and you could even get it wet, but sometimes these baffles are particle boards, so you really don't want to get a lot of moisture on that, you know. But anyways, as you can see, the dirt came out of the bumps really well. You know, it's just no dust and a little bit left, but you could repeat the process if you wanted to get it a little cleaner. And another thing that we do to clean like a gunky line cord that's got a bunch of funk and DNA or stuff like that all over it, you gotta take the same cleaner that you were using, just spray, get a paper towel wet with it right there, and start on one end of the line cord and basically just scrub all the funk off of it. You get a lot of crud. Now this one's not terribly dirty, but did want to clean the line cord. And let's see. I see one last little trick here that I'll tell you about. If you have like a, let's see, it's like 107 heat index out here today. This might have been a mistake. We're going to knock it out quick though. If you see right here on this corner, you have that little nick, and there's another one right there. One way you can kind of clean those up a little bit is just take a regular old black Sharpie, douse it with Sharpie ink, let it sit there for a second, and then the best cleaner, the best thing in the world to buff it out with is you take your index finger and you put it up here on your nose like this, and you get a little bit of nose grease, and then you just kind of buff it out. And I didn't let that ink dry well enough, but you'll get the point. And okay, and let's go to this little one over here first. We cut, so I had a little bit of time for it to dry. And just kind of buff it out with the nose grease there, and just kind of, whoops. Sweat's really not supposed to be part of the plan, but anyways, it just kind of makes it look a little better, you know. And you can repeat the process on that too. And anyways, just wanted to do a quick video to show you how to clean the Bumpy Tolex. Don't forget, go down to your hardware store or Amazon or whatever, get you some Sprayway Crazy Clean, access to an air compressor, a couple of brushes, and you can go down to the pawn shop and get the nastiest one you can find, and that'll clean it right up. Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.